and I will pass it over to Amita and Maurice here to start us off.
All right. Thank you so much, Maddy. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. I'm Dr. Amida. I'm the CEO at New Hope Behavioral Healthcare, and we're located here in Worcester. On this line, we have Reverend Maurice Ndansi, is the CEO of New Hope Behavioral Health, and tonight he will be doing the presentation, most of the presentation, and I will come back. I will join him at the question and answer section. So we're in for a smooth ride, and we are grateful for the wonderful people online here. We really appreciate you coming, and it's a great pleasure. And we want to say stay tuned. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to explore the journey together. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for all what you do. And thank you for throwing light into our immigrant communities and to those who are based here in Boston. Thank you. Over to you, Reverend Morris.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. Really appreciate your time and don't take it for granted indeed. And I know you all eager to understand this amazing and career path which we offer at New Hope Behavioral Health, among others. But this, to be honest, is one of, if I by any means, very straightforward, very straightforward. I will go into it at a very high level, and please, if anything you may not understand, you may stop if it is if it is relevant. If not, just go through the slide, take notes, and then ask questions at the end. I don't know if it works okay with everyone. Okay. So by the way, my name again, once again, I'm Reverend Maurice Ndansi. I'm a pastor by profession and bivocational, of course, a businessman, and I am so much involved in the community. And one of the reasons I actually got myself involved with with community services such as this, New Hope Behavioral Health, believe me, is really powerful, up and coming force in the health care arena, not only in the Metro West, but you will see its presence very soon in the East. I call it East Coast. I prefer anything east of Framingham, right? So why do we have this? Well, basically, we'll look at it as a professional workforce session, and all of you are very qualified individuals from various places, some still out in the country. Most of you are here and looking at ways where you should learn with your background and either professional degrees or whatever discipline you are you actually studied in school. What we want to talk about here is basically one of the multiple paths that we have at opportunities that we have at New Hope Behavioral. And of course, which I mentioned, you are all qualified to participate in this. All right, either skilled migrant or foreign trade professional, whatever you, healthcare social workers in this country, you are qualified to attend this session. Great opportunity, and we should talk about it.
Enter the training, enter this thing.
Sorry, guys, I'm just going to remind everyone to stay muted here. And if you have questions, you can raise your hand or put it in the chat for when they're done talking. Thank you.
Okay. All right. What we want to talk about is actually related to IHP, IHT, and also TM, therapeutic mentoring and in-home therapy. This is
people.
Okay. All right. I think we're good, right?
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So we'll just give you an overview of what we're going to present here. Basically, an overview of IHT, as I was saying, which stands for in-home therapy, not physical therapy. obviously, and also therapeutic mentor as well. And it will focus on the medical necessity and appropriate service use for a lot of children. And if you look at this, it's a Massachusetts Children's Behavioral Health Initiative that they came up with some years ago to be specific. And they have Massachusetts Child and Adolescent Needs and Strength, just known as CANS, CANS, which some of you after this presentation will be interested in actually studying and taking a CANS certification, which is not a big deal, right? And it has to deal with, let's look at what this whole thing is all about. What is in-home therapy? What's the purpose of it? Basically, in-home therapy is community-based therapeutic initiative for children between 0 and 21, or 21 and down. Okay, so it's family-based. It's not just for the kid, but it's an overall family base. And this helps. Why Massachusetts came up with this, it helps to prevent the out of home placement, to have children to go to a group home, to go to facilities and all of this. It's a whole lot of displacement, and it costs a lot of money for the state and things like that. And also will strengthen the caregiver and displaced parents or guardians capacity to help this kid grow and help this kid healed faster. And it has also a great opportunity to understand outpatient therapy in this arena, right? And IHT basically is for kid, again, as I said, 0 to 21. Any child below 21 qualifies. Child would basically behavioral issues qualify for this, or children with behavioral issue qualifies for this. And we understand that just the outpatient therapy alone is insufficient. So it is not taking that child to a therapeutic milieu and then bringing that child back home. It's all about an inclusive and all-inclusive therapy treatment that will involve the family, so they understand what the child needs or the children would need at this point, and how they will participate along with the therapies to help this child or children get out of their issues or circumstances. All right, and this will help them stay at home, follow their normal routine, school placement, and so on and so forth while they heal. Okay. Now, there is something called right care and the right time. We need to identify issues when they arise, and once these issues, sometimes the parents will not pick it. Sometimes it's from the school system that will pick it up, or the parent may notice something and then it's magnified in the school. And they're very, very careful, and they are very sensitive. They will pick this thing up quickly. And right off the bat, we should make sure we intervene immediately. There are a lot of different paths to this. In other words, you'll be trained as far as this therapy IHT is concerned. You'll be trained. It is one of those areas where you'll find a lot of flexibility. And to be honest with you, it is so fulfilling, because you find yourself being a path of helping a child or children get pathways and recover from behavioral issues that would have otherwise become very serious. And before you know it, that child is finding his or herself in a group home. You understand? And as such, we kind of work in a coordinated manner. There's a team of at least 2 people per family, and to assess everything about the child, the behavioral issues, the safety, the triggers, a lot of different things. So it's quite an interesting career path here. Now, therapeutic mentoring basically you're building support around not only the child, you're building support also around the parents to help them come up with different techniques to help their child or their children with these issues, right? You give support and all other different types of skill set and tools that are involved based on the diagnosis or based on the needs or based on the treatment plan. A few of those things, like social, withdrawn, communication, and other life skills that this child is missing in life. Okay, therapeutic mentoring, of course, which will be involved in what you call the CBHI. It basically stands for Children's Behavioral Health Initiative, which is basically this comes from the Massachusetts Executive Office of the Health and Human Services. All right, the mission and the vision here is just to strengthen the family and integrate a comprehensive treatment, which is community based, like the IHT we talked about. It's community based because you go to this patient's home and you don't touch them, you talk to them, right? And in the presence of their parents as well, to ensure that the family and their children with this very significant behavioral, emotional, and mental health needs obtain the appropriate services that they need, that is necessary for their healing, okay, or recovery. And you have your course set up treatment plan and etc. A lot of this, all of this thing I'm just rushing towards is because just to give you an idea, a high level. Now, once you become involved in this, you will go through some thorough training. All right, therapeutic mentor, you build skills, of course, a flexible schedule based on the need of that particular child. Not everybody has the same needs, okay? And it will only end if those goals are met. That child is now being able to communicate correctly, sociable, and a lot of those not being withdrawn and doing well in school. And we stop. Other folks are being admitted into the service. A lot of them are out there. They need us. They need you to come in and help them in whatever way. In this particular IHT, and there are different types of initiative that we have here. And also, what does this do to you? Well, it gives you a pathway to behavioral health. Just so you know, behavioral health it's not only for those children, adolescent to 21 years old. It's not only for them. Some continues to about old age. So we are involved in all of this, all across all ages. But for IHT is basically 21 and under. All right. And you become a therapeutic mentor. You become a case worker, peer support specialist, and a whole lot more that you want to become. That is the long and short of this. Is this something you are interested in? Is this something you want to be part of in behavioral health? Don't forget, behavioral health is only getting bigger and bigger and bigger, not only in Massachusetts, all over the United States. And the federal government, based on what we all know, the federal government, that happens in our community with kids with behavioral issue, federal government finally come to terms with the fact that these kids needs to be helped from ground zero when they're still young, once this issue are identified. And we see a whole lot of issues happening in our community. The other day, one of the actors, if you remember, Ryan, Rob Ryan and the wife were killed by their own son with behavioral issues. And this is a grown-up guy. So what happened if this thing, his behavioral issue was basically identified or caught at the earlier stage? Perhaps this child would have been helped, right? So we want to help children before it gets too late. And before you know it, other things are happening. Not all of them, of course. A very small percentage end up being this violent, like Rob Ryan's son. So this is what it gives an opening for you to be part of this mission and this vision, not only for New Hope Behavioral, but also for to help the vision of the Department of Human Services, and not only the federal, but also the state, Massachusetts Department of Health and Human Services as well. This is a huge thing for them. Do you have any question? It's time on questions now. Time for questions and answers. So please, if you have any questions, you feel free. This is the time to ask.
Middle of the season.
From this morning.
Karan, do you have a question? Oh, maybe she's just unmuted. Does anyone have
Okay, good.
Does anyone have a question for Morris about his presentation? I have some information I would like to share as well, but if anyone has questions they'd like to ask him first, I'd like to invite you to do that.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, please.
Do you have a question, Said?
I think
No,
sometimes
no,
some people are
no
having
question for the timing. We are waiting for to hear.
Okay, great. Then we'll do questions at the very end. I'll talk about fellowship while we're here then. So obviously we've just gone over some of the background on these behavioral health careers, why they're important. But I want to talk about the fellowship that we're working on bringing forward with, it's a collaboration between ABN and New Hope. So the purpose of this fellowship is to bring people like yourselves that have a pre-existing behavioral health background from their home country and who are facing barriers in reestablishing that career here. So we're looking to give people the opportunity to get their foot in the door, get on track to work their way up to in the behavioral health field here in the US. So what we're doing is this is a training and work placement program. So I'm just going to go step by step through how this program will work. ABN is going to be doing the recruitment and screening portion of this program. So we'll be taking applications, we'll be looking at who is a good fit and moving you forward. Some of the qualifications I want to go over now, just so you can get an idea if you would be a good fit or not. So we're looking at a couple of different things. The first thing we're looking at is your educational background. So ideally, we're looking for people with a bachelor's or a master's in a behavioral health field. So that could be social work, psychology, sociology, human services, mental health counseling, or marriage and family therapy. Those are a couple of examples. We're also looking for people that have some experience in the behavioral health field. So experience working with children or families or older adults, that kind of thing. Once we screen candidates for this role, they will be moved forward onto into New Hope. There's a couple of trainings that are included in this fellowship program. So one of them is a 6-week soft skills training. This is provided by ABN. What a soft skills training is it will show you kind of the US workplace norms. So obviously the workplace in the US is very different from other countries. So it's just teaching you, okay, what's the day-to-day look like? What are some of the skills that are expected of you in the US workplace? So that will be brought from ABN. And then there's also a technical training specific to behavioral health that is provided through New Hope. And these are both included in the program, so these are free of charge. And then after you complete the 2 trainings, you'll get 4 months of direct work placement with New Hope. This is going to be, like I said, 4 months for 40 hours per week, and it is paid. It's $20 per hour. The work placement will be managed and supervised by the employer, which is New Hope. And a couple of additional requirements outside of the background we're looking for. We are also looking for people that are able to provide the documentation that we require. So this is work authorization. We need to see a valid ID, a driver's license, and you will be asked also to submit a resume. So making sure that you have updated your resume and submitted that to us. Something that is strongly preferred is that you have access to reliable transportation, because you will be doing a lot of community-based work. And there is a preference for candidates who are in the central Massachusetts region, as New Hope is located in Worcester. I do want to also specify that although you get the 4 months of work placement through this program, it is not a guaranteed job placement at the end of the program. There is a chance for successful participants to be considered for full-time employment. Average salary would be 60 to 65,000, of course, subject to what the organization needs and the performance of the candidate. But I do want to say that it is not a guaranteed job placement at the end of this. This is mainly just an opportunity for people to gather the U.S. work experience and to get their foot in the door in the U.S. behavioral health field. I know that was a lot of information that, a lot to gather at once. We will have this all put together for you guys, and I'll send it in the email as well, so you can have it in front of you if you want to review it again. But yeah, that's what I wanted to mention on the fellowship. Anita, Maurice, I didn't miss anything, did I? Or Emmanuel, I know you're in here too. Is there anything else that we want to highlight about the program?
Yeah, I just want to say, Mandy, thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Morris, for that wonderful presentation. While we anticipate that most immigrants or those who have been resettled here will have a bachelor degree, there are some slight qualification issues which you could reach out to Mandy. She could look into it and the team could really jump into it. Ideally, a master's degree is what we look for. A bachelor degree is secondary, but if you have an associate and with a little bit with maybe 2, 3, 4 years of work experience, I've already seen in the chat, some are coming from a medical background. Those are rich experience which we would like to explore. Some are already having, I just read somebody with an MD degree, transition with the CNA, the MAP, and the rest. So I think we have a lot of people with rich candidates. So it's a great honor to have everybody here. And we are thankful for the presentation. In case you have a question that maybe we have not addressed, I think myself and my beloved brother, Reverend Morris, we could address those questions. I think Mr. Emmanuel too is here. He could address some of those questions if they are pertinent questions that needs to be addressed. We're more than willing to address it. So I pass it over to you, Mandy, and probably maybe Mr. Emmanuel and Reverend Morris.
Thank you, Rita. Does anyone have questions they would like to ask us about these jobs, about the fellowship program, anything like that?
So a background in behavioral health is not required, but is highly preferable. There are subsequent experiences that can transpire. Unless you did sociology in your country, maybe you did psychology, you did a medical degree, a nursing degree. I think we're going to contextualize based on your frame of reference and how we could integrate it. So I think some of those things you could, it's the fact that you may not have had behavioral. So there's an intersection between behavioral and mental health. So you may have a mental health background, a behavioral health background. So those things can intercept. So I don't think you should rule out yourself. You could reach out to Mandy and we could pick it up from there. I don't know if I answered that question and if there are other questions.
Yeah. I'm seeing another question in the chat from Nancy asking what's the next step after this session. So tomorrow in my follow-up email to all of you, I'll include the link for the application for the fellowship. So just so you guys can look at the qualifications again, make sure that this is something you're interested in, that you'd be a good fit for, and you can submit an application for us for the program, and we'll review that and get back to you about your application. I don't have a set timeline on when applications are due yet, but you'll have time, and I'll send that email out tomorrow. Another question, there's no tuition fee for the fellowship. It's a free program. You don't have to pay to participate. You don't have to pay for any of the trainings. It's free to apply, so there's no charge at all through us for this program.
And we want to say we really, really appreciate your rich experience. You may have been discouraged maybe with your transition into America, but we really want to say we want to make it a very wonderful process for you and through this fellowship. So we are more than grateful.
Yeah, one other thing I saw in the chat is quite a few medical doctors, pediatrician, and back from their country of origin, MDs. I understand. The thing is, I know what it takes. I understand that it takes quite a long step, quite a normal step for you to integrate into the medical system, especially if you graduated medical school quite years ago. And I'm sure some people here, some of you medical doctors, I always say don't give up, but I'm sure some of them have already realized that, you know what, I'm not going to fly in this country, not necessarily. However, this gives you a pathway, especially for the pediatrician, to integrate into at least the health career field, right? It is a first step. You just never know. You just never know. So it will be good to actually explore, where can this take me? And you find yourself growing and loving it. So you know what? I love this. I mean, working with kids, it makes no difference. If I'm not able to get into residency in this nation, I love what I'm doing. At least I can speak and help a family, help a child, help some children. This is what I do, even though it's a medical, clinical out there, but here I'm just a therapist. It's good for me. And it's the compensation is actually not bad. That's why I'll encourage all the MDs, please give it a shot. Give it a shot. You just never know where this would take you.
And like Reverend Morris is saying, which he lives the life, and though I'm not putting him on the spot, he has seen a lot of people transition this trackway into residency, and so we are not saying things we've not seen it. We have a frame of reference with regards to this. So pediatrician, whatever area, it's not only for the MDs, the psychologists. You come from Haiti, you speak French, you come from Africa, you come from Nigeria. So it's a cross-cultural dynamics, and like what we see in the Worcester County is becoming a melting point with diverse community, diverse background. So you may be feeling discouraged that, well, do I have a relevant experience? Give it a try. And we're here to encourage you. One, we are here to support you, and we are here to see that your process is the transition becomes smooth. And we want a culture where you can walk, you can feel welcome, you can feel cherished by those you work with, and supportive. So that's why I think Emmanuel and ABN and New Hope Behavioral came up with this program so that it could, and ABN has done an incredible job. New Hope is doing an incredible job. I think this synergy is going to go a long way. Like Reverend Morris says, give it a shot. Thank you.
I see a couple more questions in the chat here, so I'm just going to go in order of what I'm seeing, and then I see people raising their hands. I'll come back to you. My first question here is the training online. The ABN soft skills training is virtual. Anita and Morris, do you want to talk about the technical training through you guys?
So, Reverend Morris, you want to go ahead? Or you want me
Go
to?
ahead. Go ahead.
First, we want to appreciate those already thinking in that direction. That's a positive mind. You will do the virtual with ABN, and when you move over to us, there are certain basic virtuals we'll do, and we'll give you a couple of stuff. So it will be a hybrid where part of it will be done virtually, part of it will be done in the office, so that you could see the environment, you could do an onboarding, and we could pick it up from there. So it will be a hybrid program. Majority will be done virtually, then we'll bring you on site.
Thank you.
Yes, and in addition, I would say also, as we discussed with Emmanuel, the only qualification is basically, as Dr. Mira mentioned earlier, the different qualification you need, but you will have to go through the child adolescent needs and strength, which is also called CANS. So if you're interested and go through, and if you're interested in this, a fellowship, then we'll have to, go through the necessary steps to get you registered to take the CANS, understanding, with deep understanding of what this is all about, and take the certification. It's a no-brainer, to be honest with you. And once that is done, then we move to that step of training, right? Where we do the virtual training or in-person training or whatever. You'll have the best and the best, expert in IHT, to be honest with you, some of the best in the state.
Reverend Morris is saying, if you say the best, the 1% of the best, they'll be walking you through, so that we want you to enjoy the culture, enjoy the diversity, and let the 4 months, or what we call the fellowship program, be a wonderful program, so that you could make a step. It could integrate you completely, and the salary is not bad. It's really, really wonderful, and there's a lot of issues that come with it.
Okay. The next question in the chat here is, I would like to know if this is going to be recognized by hiring managers and what value it will add to my resume. Yes, it's 4 months of official full-time working at a behavioral health center. So this is absolutely going to be recognized by hiring managers and by people reviewing your resume. I'd say the value that it adds, especially for foreign trained professionals like yourselves, is that it's giving you the US-based experience, because that is a large majority of the time one of the biggest barriers that a lot of you guys are facing, is that you can't get your foot in the door because you don't have the US experience. It's like, okay, well, how am I supposed to get the experience if no one will hire me? And this is the opportunity to get that experience. So I do strongly believe, and all of us here believe, that it definitely does add value for your professional experience.
Like Reverend Morris made mention of CANS certification. CANS certification was brought up, designed, and it ideally used presently in 46 states in America. So the CANS certification is not a contextual issue to Massachusetts alone. Right. It's across the board.
That's right.
So DYS, we use that, DCF, we use that, DMH, we use that, the Department of Health and Human Services. So its application, it's broad. It will give you a lot of leeway just having that certification, and it's also going to open your mind. It's going to give you a deeper perspective about the American culture, especially looking at things from assessment, cross-cultural perspective, what we call critical thinking. So it's going to broaden your scope of. So it's going to prepare you for the job market. It's very, very. It's going to change a lot. Trust me, it's going to change a lot. Your perspective is going to change a lot.
Another question about the pay. It is $20 per hour for the 4-month working period. Like I said, it's 40 hours per week. So that's $20 per hour, 40 hours per week. I do want to clarify that the training period and the different trainings that we do, that is unpaid. But once you're actually doing the 4 months of work, that is paid for $20 per hour. What other?
And this is a fellowship recognized. Yeah. It's recognized by Department of Labor, recognized by both organizations, and American Developmental Disability Providers recognized for what we do, because it's going to open you endless of opportunity.
Yeah. And this question is, what other partners are in this program? Right now, at the moment, our New Hope is the only employer involved in the behavioral health track of this fellowship. ABM has other fellowship tracks with different employers, but that's a whole different topic. So that's not of importance today.
Okay.
And then, Saeed, I see here you have a question. Also, you've had your hand raised for a little bit, so I'm gonna let you ask your question here. Saeed, oh, there you go.
To me,
Yes.
it was okay. Sorry. Good evening to everybody. It's very interesting for me, and we start learning from you peoples. And thank you so much for the sharing of a good plan in future. And this is really, very important. Can I talk a few words about myself and my background, or
Yeah,
no
sure.
need now?
You can
Okay.
introduce yourself.
So, first of all, let me thank Morik and Dr. Amida and you, Madia, and all the team members. So, I'm Syed Habib Arwal is my family or last name. I'm from Afghanistan, and I immigrated here in 2022. And I have been working with the Harvard Medical School for 2 years, around 2 years, as a scholar because I came here by help of them because I worked with them in Afghanistan for more than 10 years. And my background is, if I talk about that, this is I graduated as a MD doctor from Kabul Medical University, and then I got my master from 11 to 2009. 2009 to 2011 in from United States from Future Generation University about the community conservation and change and conservation, including PHC. And after that, yes, I got my fellowship in Colombo University in Sri Lanka about the tobacco control program, and I have experience of. I was as a founder of community-based healthcare program in my country in Ministry of Public Health in Afghanistan. So I'm very happy. I have a lot of experience and interesting to work with the communities. So here also, I'm happy and thank you so much for inviting me to this interesting program to work with community, to work for the immigrants because we know a lot of the problems what they are feeling already. We discussed with the team of children hospitals and RIAC and other people. So that's very important. I think we will be happy if you are agree. For more understanding, we can send it and share our resume with you.
Mhm.
And if you are agree, we can help and we can share with in this program. And I will be more than happy to learn more things from this expert groups. So I don't want to take your more time, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Saeed.
Thank you, Sai.
Yeah, encourage you to apply. And if you want to share your resume with me beforehand, we can, or if this is open for anyone too. If you have your resume and you want to have us look at it and review it before you submit it, you can email it to me and I will look at it.
Okay, that's good.
Another question, I see someone's asking if we'll get a recording. Yes, so I'll send an email tomorrow with all the information and materials from today, the recording of the session, and the application for the fellowship. And I see one more question in the chat here. Do you have a fixed schedule for this training? Right now, we don't have the schedule finalized at this very moment. But that's information that we'll hope to get to you soon. But Morris or Anita, if you have any thoughts on that, I'll let you answer that.
Oh, asking about a fixed schedule for the training?
Yeah, about the training.
No, actually, It all depends. There is no fixed schedule. We just plan the schedule ahead of time, depending on how many people are ready to attend us, how many people are ready to move forward to the next stage of training. So we don't have a fixed schedule as yet. But you see, this ABN and New Hope Biafra is a relationship that is growing and is going to grow, and we will be able to have fixed schedule, because after this probably we'll have another 30, 40, or 50. At that point, it is imperative and necessary to have fixed schedule so that people will just fit themselves in. So we'll say, hey, this is our time. They can actually structure their time to fit in with the fixed schedule, structured schedule. So
someone just started sharing their screen. Edna, I think. So I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and stop sharing real quick. But does anyone else have more questions that they'd like to ask before we wrap up? We have a little bit more time.
Delis May has a question.
They're asking about the email for the resume. I put it in the chat, but I will put it in the chat again. It's my name, Maddie, at africanbn.org. But everyone today, you'll receive an email from me tomorrow. So you'll have my email in your inbox at that point. So you can make sure to save it then as well. But it's in the chat if anyone needs that. If we don't.
If there's no question, I want just to add what Reverend Morris said, that don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Mr. Seth gave a rich background. Every one of you here have a rich background. You've achieved a lot before arriving here. So the immigrant dream is not a reflection that everybody's an MD. It's not a reflection that everybody's a social worker. But you have something to offer. So take the first step, take that initiative, apply. There's a very good supportive system. Mandy, Mr. Emmanuel, Reverend Morris, and the team. So between ABN and New Hope, we'll look at it. First, we're also saying that character will matter during this fellowship. So there are a lot of things that will be deduced when Mandy is doing the training, character, the attitude, the work experience, the attitude. So a lot of those things will count during the fellowship. So those who successfully go through the fellowship will be retained. Those who do not go through it. So it's going to be a wonderful experience. And we want to say that it's going to be a transformative experience. It's going to be a relational experience. It's also going to be an impacting experience that is going to reach out to the community. It's going to transform life. It's going to change the landscape of things. So it's going to enrich you financially. It's going to establish you. You can use this as a point of reference to write out and say, oh, I went through this training, I went through this fellowship, and this is the outcome of it. At least you have something to say out of it. So I think we have a strong team, a supportive team. Reverend Morris will go far and beyond to teach you. Myself, a couple of other staff, we have a lot of supportive staff. ABN is always there. They have a culture. They've done a lot of immigrant resettlement programs. So the rich culture, the rich frame of reference, together, we believe that little steps like this could go a long way. So don't be discouraged. Take the first step. Send your resume, look through your resume. This may also be a transformation. Maybe the way you put up your resume in Nigeria, in Africa, maybe it's different. Some people call it my CV. In America, sometimes they say resume. So the cultural landscape may be different. So but be open. We are here to support you. We are not here. It's not a punitive act. It's here a supportive system. We're forming a supportive system to see that you grow. And we also want to see, we will meet you where you are, and together it will be wonderful. So maybe I pass it over to Pastor Morris. Maybe Reverend Morris wants to highlight on some few things.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, you said it all, and I think this is a journey. I will tell you, a journey has to start from somewhere, but there is a destination. And what I can tell you is, with all honesty, this may be your basically stepping stone, right? A platform for you to be catapulted to another level. We all started from an entry level somewhere down the road when we entered here, right? I see Mr. Residential Council. I remember I started working $7 an hour in the 90s, early 90s. In fact, but it gave me the pathway to be where I'm at today. So for some, it's your entry point. It's your very small, early, humble beginnings that will take you very far. And I wish I had a fellowship that would pay me $20 an hour to learn a job and then be paid $35 an hour. My goodness, then I would have been skyscrapers by now, right? But nevertheless, there is always a time and opportunity for other people who came behind you or who are just arriving, and God has given us that opportunity to have this platform to help you integrate into the American workforce with a diverse, amazing, skillful background. All of you very intelligent, very skillful. This is the opportunity. This is what you probably you've been waiting for, that breakthrough. This is it. So don't give up. Don't think it's too small. It's something you don't know how type of jobs I've done in my life. I 33 going 34 years in this country. So it is something to really consider. And I'll end there. And again, I will echo Dr. Amina, don't be discouraged. There's always a beginning. Start somewhere.
Thank you both. Thank you, Amita. Thank you, Morris. There's one thing before everyone leaves today. I'm putting the link in the chat for it. We have an evaluation form. This is just a couple of questions. They're mostly yes or no. But we just want to get some information about your thoughts on today's session, your interest in the Behavioral Health Fellowship, anything like that. So please fill this out. It's very important information for us. So I'm watching you guys too. I'm seeing as responses come in, so I'll know if you don't fill it out. But I would just kindly ask that you fill it out before you go. You can stay on the call and do this if you have any questions. You have a couple of minutes if you want to hang back. But again, I just want to thank you both so much for taking the time out of your evening here to present tonight. And I want to thank everyone that attended and took the time to be here and listen. So thank you all so much. And you'll be hearing from me tomorrow with the follow-up information. But yeah, thank you all so much. And like I said, I'm going to stay on while people fill this out. But if you do have to jump, feel free to leave whenever you're ready. But yeah, thank you, Anita and Morris, and have a nice night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
And if you have questions, we'll hang around. We could answer those questions. Feel free. There's no wrong question. There's no wrong question. There's no any question you have. We're here to answer it. Thank you so much.
We're supposed to stay on, or why they answer the?
No, you guys can head out if you'd like. Anyone else who's ready to head out can go. I'm seeing some responses come in, so thank you to those who are filling it out.
Okay.
Well, yeah, thank you all, and you can feel free to leave whenever you'd like.
Okay.
I'll listen out in a moment here.